On the Spot. We cruise PlayStation Network and check out the newest wares available this week. Ricardo Torres sits down and gets his demo on with Ratchet and Clank Future, A Crack in Time. More demo action comes your way with Tyrone Rodriguez and a look at Cave Story for the Wii. We'll give away some swag in today's trivia, and we go on location for an exclusive look at the new Super Mario Bros. Wii. Today, On the Spot.
Hey folks, welcome to Today on the Spot for Saturday, October 10th. I'm Chris Waters, your host, and I'm joined over here by Eddie Riggs. My man, what is going on? You're looking fierce.
Not much, Chris. I'm just real tiny.
Excuse, Lark. All right, Lark. Yes, hi.
Yeah, I'm here too.
How's it going?
It's good. It's good, Chris. How's your week been?
It's been busy, man. I've had a lot on my plate, and even more that I want to cram onto my plate, but my plate is full.
Yeah. There's a lot of great games out now. Yeah, I mean, Demon's Souls. I'm really looking forward to that. Every time Kevin talks about that, I just want to play it some more.
Like real bad. And Uncharted 2.
Uncharted 2 next week.
Coming out next week.
Yeah.
Big week here for the PlayStation 3.
Yeah, definitely. We got a lot on the show today for the PlayStation 2 too, don't we?
That's true. Another big title, Ratchet and Clank Future, Crack in Time.
Yeah.
I think that one's called.
Yep.
It's vibrant and it's sharp and it looks really good.
Looks just about as goofy as all the other Ratchet and Clank games, and that's what I love about it.
Which is pretty excellent. Yeah, we'll have that on the daily demo today, folks, as well as a whole bunch of other good Sony-type stuff. But first, we're going to head over to the news desk and see what's up in the latest headlines.
Hey everyone, it's your GameSpot news update for Saturday, October 10th. I'm Tor Thorson. Unless you've been researching undiscovered tribes in the Amazon, you probably know that Activision is touting Modern Warfare 2 as the biggest game launch of all time. Funny thing is, this whole series almost did not happen. Infinity Ward Chief Creative Officer Vince Zampella told UK site CVG that Activision did not want the developer to stop making World War II games. Activision did not want Modern Warfare, said Zampella. They thought working on a modern game was risky and said, "Oh my god, you can't do that, that's crazy." They were doing market research to show us we were wrong the whole time. So remember, when you drop $150 for the Prestige Edition with night vision goggles, thank Infinity Ward, not Activision. Speaking of top-notch developers, BioWare announced that Dragon Age Origins will be getting a dungeon-packed expansion pack on day one. Given that Mass Effect only got 2 expansions, only one of which is worth buying, in 2 years, you'd think gamers would be happy. However, the move has caused some controversy, with many complaining it should have been included in the game in the first place. As far as I'm concerned, the more content, the merrier. Alright, one last thing. A Max Payne 3 trailer is leaked out. Jan, can you play that back?
You can always count on the GameSpot news desk for an entertaining update on the headlines. Now we're going to head on over to the PlayStation Network and see what's new.
This week on the PlayStation Network, the Uncharted 2 multiplayer demo is still the best thing to download this week. With only 3 days until the release of the full game, players have already totaled a collective 27 years worth of playing the multiplayer demo so far. If you haven't checked our full review of the game, Tom McShea gives it a 9.5 and calls Uncharted 2 a simply awesome game. Go read or watch the review for full details. In the downloadable games department, we've got a new one this week for Critter Crunch. A puzzle that introduces the adorably ravenous Biggs and his potentially unsettling regurgitation-driven gameplay. A descending field of forest critters approaches Biggs in 6 separate columns, and the fuzzy protagonist must use his tongue to move creatures from one column to another. By understanding where the critters are in the food chain and how they'll react to being overstuffed, players set up cascading reactions that clear out the forest and leave plenty of goodies for Biggs to collect. Critter Crunch is available for $6.99. The one downloadable classic available this week from the PlayStation 1 is Pandemonium, a pseudo 2D/3D side-scroller that is available for $5.99. In the add-on section, we've got new music for Little Big Planet fans, a mission pack for IL-2 Sturmovik Birds of Prey, which adds a new chapter of single-player missions and 2 planes. Also new for Tiger Woods PGA Tour 10 this week is one of the few genuine classic courses, the Riviera. New songs for Rock Band 2 are available this week, including hits such as Steady As She Goes, Handlebars from the Flowbots, and 2 other classics from Alanis Morissette. Lastly, NBA Live 10 and NBA 10 The Inside are 2 new PSP downloadable games available. Well, that's all the time we have. For a full list of items, be sure to check out GameSpot.com and PlayStation.com to see what's new this week on the PlayStation Network.
No, dude. I know your demo's there, but that was 3 weeks ago. No, it's new on. All right. You know what? He's a sassy dude, even in porcelain form, right? Yeah. No, not.
Yeah. I wasn't pretending to be him this time. You were just talking to yourself.
What? Daily demo's happening next,
That's
Lark.
right.
We got
a daily demo.
What do we got? We got Ratchet and Clank.
Some Ratchet and Clank Future, Crack in Time.
Crack in
Going back
Time.
to their sassy names.
I like it. Up your
Yeah.
arsenal.
Going Commando. Just
Love the humor in that game, and also the bright colors is so sharp, and this one looks really smooth.
it does. It looks fantastic.
I'm pretty psyched for it. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this game is going to make me giggle like a 12-year-old, and
Yes.
also the graphical look of the game. It's sharp. It's colorful. It's pretty impressive from what I've seen, and I'm looking forward to seeing more. I know you are too. So let's go check in with Ricardo Torres for today's daily demo. Hello and welcome to your daily demo for Saturday, October 10th. I'm Sean McInnes and I am joined by none other than Ricardo Torres. Ricardo, how you doing?
I'm good.
All right, I'm excited because we're about to check out Ratchet and Clank Future, A Crack in Time, a game that I'm looking forward to and you are looking forward to even more than I am, amazingly.
Very much so.
All right, so what are we about to check out here?
Well, we're about to check out Axiom City, which is it's a planet that Ratchet's going to. This is something that you come to pretty early on in the game. I don't want to spoil the story for anybody because there's actually quite a bit to the story in this game because they're wrapping up a bunch of stuff. But everybody knows Alistair Azimuth, who is this extra Lombax, which makes Ratchet not the last one. And basically, he's told Ratchet to meet him on a planet called. He's told to meet him on Axiom City.
So this game is obviously pretty story-heavy for an action platformer type of game.
Yes.
Is it critical that you've played the last few games in the Future series to really enjoy this one?
No, like the nice thing about the way that they construct the game is there's always plenty of recap. And so I'm landing right now.
All right.
But there's always plenty of recap, so you're pretty much up to speed. Because this one kind of picks up where Quest for Booty left off.
Okay.
But all you really need to know is that Ratchet is trying to find Clank.
And Clank is separated from him. What's the sort of balance between the Ratchet levels and the Clank levels in this game?
The Clank levels are really different this time out because Clank has like powers, time powers, kind of like mini Braid. And Ratchet has a lot more gear, as usual. So here I am on Axiom City, and as you can see, nobody knows like the perfect formula for these games better than these guys because they love their big techno moving cities.
I have to say it's nice to see the normal Ratchet here. We were just at Tokyo Game Show where they have the big fuzzy eyebrowed version of Ratchet, which is just really kind of unsettling.
Yeah, you know. Unfortunately, they felt the need to go ahead and slightly tweak him for the Japanese audience because they felt that would make him a little bit more appealing to them. And it's actually worked. The series has sold really well over there. For folks that remember, I think it was Crash, Ratchet, and maybe even Spyro got a bit of a makeover for the Japanese releases back in the day, just to kind of tweak them more to the audience down there.
So the Ratchet series is obviously very big on these extravagant weapons. What sort of new guns do you have at your disposal this time?
Let's see, what do I have on me right now? I don't have much. I haven't been to a store, but Mr. Zircon's back, who is a personal favorite from the last one. He is your little buddy who goes ahead and assists you for a little while in combat and talks a lot of trash. So, you know, you gotta love that. So let me show you one of these other areas. But yeah, the swing shot's back, and he's got hover boots now, which are pretty cool. And you use them to access different areas. Got some weapons, and you see Mr. Zircon's doing his work. But they like explosions in this game, like hardcore. And the leveling system's back for your gear. As you can see, my glove went up in level. And there are flying saucers, which are that drop not nice things.
That's all right. It's just an opportunity for you to blow up even more stuff.
Yeah. Really do have to, you can't go on enough about how smooth this runs, despite the fact 9 times out of 10 you're blowing everything up.
And there's a lot of customization to the weapons too, right?
Yes. They've added a whole new thing called Constructo weapons, which lets you find pieces. Please don't let me fall. Yes. You can do a lot of modding to your weapons actually in this one. Because now there's this whole system where you can pick up pieces and really kind of tweak them out to kind of for the occasion, really, because you can go ahead and adjust the different qualities to it. So either you can have charge shots for some weapons, or you can have grenades that have like proximity fuse or timers, or even what's been really useful is there's this one thing for the grenade that's called a sky burst that it just kind of does a vertical explosion, which is great for flying enemies. And so here we are kind of helping out the local citizens in the travel port, as you can see, luggage. And these are the locals, not really photogenic people. Got some attitude, but you know, Ratchet's very helpful. And let's see, of course, Mr. Zircon. And you know, it's very much a platform, even though it's got like all these kind of additional trappings. There are still great things like this where you have to do this jazz. And then for people that played Quest for Booty, you should remember that little feature.
Are there any equivalents to what Tools of Destruction did with like the rail grinding and the free falling sequences?
So far from what I've played, they like their rail grinding, so there's plenty of that. Haven't seen any free falling yet. But you know, we've only seen bits and pieces of the game, and there's a lot of it. Okay, so here we are about to take a look at one of the bosses in the game. Can you set the stage for us? What are we about to see here? We're about to see this big thing try and kill me, like repeatedly. So there's this big, well, it kind of looks like a pacifier actually, now that I'm looking at it. But yeah, so it's this big thing that is an evil robot. I don't want to give too much away, but suffice it to say, what's in it is bad.
Uh-oh.
And it just gives you an idea of the scale that they like to play with in the game.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that they did with their most recent game, Resistance 2. They had just had huge, giant boss battles, and it looks like maybe they liked that and they decided to carry it over here.
It kind of worked for them, apparently, because now they're bringing these really big, horrible things into Ratchet. Although, in Tools of Destruction, they also had some pretty big bosses, too. If you remember, there was some of those sequences where you were rail grinding, trying to take out this big thing.
All right, so what's your strategy here? How do you plan on taking this guy out?
Stay alive, because Alistair is going to help me.
Oh, okay.
He's not doing a whole lot for me. He's just stunning it so that I can get on it. And then I'm kind of on my own again.
Oh, okay.
He's not helpful. Not that helpful. I mean, the man's in his own spaceship. It's got weapons. He can't help. So it's just kind of, you dodge. And yeah.
Oh, that was close. Oh.
And he's giving you tips, but like from the safety of his spaceship, so I'm a little bitter about that.
Easy for you to say, Azimuth. I'm about to get lasered to death.
And as usual, the wrench is your friend.
All right, so it's definitely going to take a bit of work to fell this Colossus, so we'll go ahead and end here. Ricardo, when is this game out?
This is coming out October 27th, and the cool thing is there's all sorts of weird bonuses for pre-orders. I think you can, you know, depending on where you get it, you can either get bolts or neat gear or whatnot. So find out what works best for you.
All right, so that just about does it for today's daily demo. Back to you guys.
And now we've got a little bonus game look for you. Indie game turned WiiWare download, Cave Story. We're going to take a look at that one right now.
Hey everyone, Brian Eckberg here. I'm joined by Tyrone Rodriguez. How are you, Tyrone?
Good to see you, Brian.
Good to see you again, and we're talking about a game that I know has a special place in your heart, Cave Story for Nintendo Wii. This is a WiiWare game, right?
Right, yes.
So tell me about it. It's had sort of a long history behind it, right?
It does. It was originally created for the freeware PC arena by a man named Daisuke Maya. His fans know him as Pixel, and he's like a one-man band, or in this case, a one-man development team. He programmed it, he designed it, he wrote the script, he did all the artwork and the music, literally all himself in the span of over 5 years.
And then you sort of saw his original work and decided to sort of update it and give it some Nintendo Wii love. Tell me about how you got involved with the project.
I had a friend of mine who kept talking about this game, Cave Story. You should play it. And I wasn't a big indie PC player at the time, years back, and I finally tried it, and it took about 5 to 10 minutes for me to fall in love with the game instantly.
Okay.
And that's all it took for me to really say that more people have to play this game.
Right, absolutely. And so then began the process of creating what we see here on the screen. The original game, as you mentioned to me earlier, looks a lot different than this, a lot more primitive. This game has gotten a lot of work, right?
Yes, we've spent a lot of time redoing the artwork, redoing the music, adding new modes, retranslating the script, and just working directly with Maya to give it all new exclusive work for the Wii.
All right, so tell me about the game. Who do you play as it? What do you do in this game?
So you play as a character. He has a red hat and a scarf. At the beginning of the game, you actually don't know who you are, you don't know your name, you start off in this cave, you have no weapon, and you have no idea what's going on. Within the first 5 minutes, you get your first weapon, the Polar Star, which is a little pea shooter, and you enter this village called Mimiga Village, and you find out that there's some kind of turmoil, some kind of conflict going on, and you get thrust into the middle of it, and it's up to you to sort of solve what's going on.
Now, when you guys were sort of updating this game for the Wii, did you add new content, or is it strictly a port from the original?
So as far as the port goes, we redid the music, we redid the artwork, and we also included the old artwork and the original music as well in there, so you can pick whichever one you want. But we also added download content support. So later on, you'll be able to get stuff like boss rush mode, time attack, and you'll be able to post those times up on an online leaderboard.
And what level are we looking at here? What are we doing here?
So right here, you're actually looking at Egg Corridor, pretty far along in the game. I don't want to spoil too much of the story for some of the new players that are going to want to take a look at it, but I did want to show them kind of how classic arcade action it is.
Yeah.
Right now what you see is he's shooting around, and he's got the spur, which is one of the later weapons. You can actually just fire it like a normal weapon, or if you hold the button down with the spur, you'll actually be able to charge it up similar to R-Type or some of the other games, and then you've got a giant blast.
Okay.
A giant explosion has consumed Egg Corridor right now, so that's why it looks pretty torn up.
And you've got, it looks like the ability to hover there, or
Yes.
sort of a jetpack? Is
Yeah.
that something you earn?
You earn it later on in the game. There's two versions. There's one that has a slight hover effect, and then this is the sort of version 2.0 that allows you to boost in any of 4 directions, and it's a lot of fun. There aren't many games that kind of let you jump, run, and also boost around.
Oh, Cthulhu's Abode. This is dark.
Yeah.
So tell me, we've seen a couple of the weapons, all sorts of different power-ups and that kind of thing. Tell me about that.
So there's over 10 weapons in the game. You start off, as I mentioned, with something called the Polar Star, and as you progress, you'll find weapons such as missile launchers, fireballs, and bubble guns, but you'll also be able to actually upgrade some of them, and some of the weapons you'll either trade for other weapons, and to even get further on that is you'll actually combine weapons to make all new weapons.
And you were mentioning this game has, sounds like it has a pretty intriguing storyline, several different endings, right?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
It has 3 different endings, and without saying too much for
Right.
as I said,
Don't
for
wanna
the
spoil
people,
it.
I definitely don't want to spoil it. But you can actually beat the game, and you would probably miss an entire half of the rest of the game if you got one of the endings. And then going further, you can actually get another ending, but there's still one more that you have to get. And as you progress through the games, the requirements to get those endings and the precision required to get those is pretty amazing.
Lots of different reasons to replay the game
Yes,
as well.
absolutely.
Well, it has that old school appeal. Does it have that old school difficulty that fans of this 16-bit are looking for?
Yeah, it's going to kick their ass.
Oh, cool. Does it have a release date yet?
We are right now. The game's done, and we should be out probably within a few weeks.
All right, it's coming out for WiiWare?
Yes, we are.
All right, Tyrone Rodriguez, thank you so much for showing us Cave Story. We'll be out on WiiWare hopefully really, really soon. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, Ryan.
All right, good seeing you.
In today's On Location segment, we had a chance to head down to Nintendo headquarters and take a quick look at New Super Mario Bros. Wii. So take it away, Ricardo and Sophia.
Hey everybody, it's Ricardo and Sophia, and we are down here at Nintendo's offices in Redwood City, and we just got a chance to check out new Super Mario Bros. For the Wii. Tell us what we're checking out.
Okay, so this is a new underwater level that we haven't been able to see before, and what we see here is the new ice flower. Luigi's in that blue and green suit, so whenever you shoot ice balls, I guess, it freezes the little Cheep Cheeps and they'll float to the top. And then you can use that to kind of platform your way to other areas. So that's something new that we haven't seen before, and it's kind of cool because there's some physics involved now.
You know, the whole addition of like that flower and how you can use the ice cubes to like just get around is really kind of interesting because they've gone a little nuts with the secret areas and the difficulty to get to some of the secret areas, but that's cool. It's exactly what you would want out of a Mario game, which is really cool. But more importantly, we got to get a look at kind of the structure of the game because at E3 we saw just like a selection of levels, but today we got to see how the game is broken up, and it should be familiar for folks, right?
Yeah, it's a lot like Super Mario Bros. 3, so if you're a fan of that, it has like the different worlds it's set up. Some suits return, but not the famous like Tanuki suit or anything, so sorry. But the way the level is set out, there's also those events, here they call it kind of random battles, where you can go into an event and get items at the end.
And on top of that, we got a chance to check out the proper multiplayer mode, which, you know, it's a little bit more streamlined and a lot more straightforward because you can just go through multiplayer-enabled levels that are recommended.
Yeah, there's the free-for-all and the coin battles, where free-for-all you can just pick any level you want to play and then just jump in and play and not have to worry about anything else or progressing the story. And the save feature. You still save at fortresses, but now you can do like a quick save and then jump back into the game again, so you don't have to worry about getting to a castle before starting your game again.
And here is actually a look at the world map, which is kind of familiar and not. I mean, there's hidden areas, like there's a cannon, there's a castle. Castle should be familiar to folks that saw the game at E3 because it's a castle. There's dry bones and there's all kinds of horrible ways to die, but that's cool because that's what you'd expect out of a castle. So yeah, there's going to be a lot to explore in the game, so we're pretty excited. We're going to be bringing you a lot more on the game really soon because we expect to get an updated version of the office. And until then, thanks for watching. And New Super Mario Bros. Is out for the Wii in November.
Okay, folks, it is trivia time, and if you missed it on Thursday, we started our fantastic PC giveaway. Still time to get in on the ground floor of that contest. Watch Thursday's show. I'll tell you all about it. And yesterday, we had an advanced screening. Got Tim Schafer in here, who was showing off Brutal Legend. That was really fun, and he gave away some of these statuettes, and we've got more to give away. 8 in total. Eddie Riggs statuettes. It's quite a piece of craftsmanship here.
Oh yeah, he's got his guitar, his awesome battle axe, and he's on a pillar of bones.
Lots of bones and a rad rockin' murder type rock face.
Yeah.
And that's not all.
Yeah, that's right. We've got some Fighting Fantasy, the Warlock of Firetop Mountain stuff here. It's got an awesome name, and we've got a whole bunch of cool stuff to give away for that as well.
So let the trivia commence. For all these Eddie Riggs figurines, statuettes, got idols, whatever you want to call them. We're giving away 8 of these if you can answer this question. What is the name of Eddie Riggs' guitar?
So in honor of Fighting Fantasy, we've got some copies of the book to give away, and in order to get one of these books, you have to answer this Choose Your Own Adventure style trivia question. The question is, you enter a room, and inside there is a bugbear and a pie, and you really want that pie. How do you get it? The most creative answers will get themselves a copy of Fighting Fantasy, the Warlock of Firetop Mountain. So send those in using the trivia button or by email to onthespot@gamespot.com.
All right, folks, that's going to about do it for Saturday's episode of Today on the Spot. Be sure to keep voting in the greatest Game Hero competition. We're down to it now.
Yeah, last 2 contestants. It's going to be a blast to see who wins.
Yeah.
Who's the greatest hero of them all?
The greatest. Right on, folks. Thanks for joining us. Tune in on Tuesday for more awesome trivia, and you know that Today on the Spot goodness we bring you 3 times a week. For everyone here on the crew and the set, I'm Chris Waters.
And I'm Lark Anderson.
Have a great weekend, folks. This thing is heavy.
Yeah.
It's got, all right, folks. Okay, folks, that'll about wrap it up for today's Saturday show of Today on the Today Spot. Okay, folks, that's going to about wrap it up for us today here today.